The absolutely disastrous Disney press tour for The Rise of Skywalker continues, with actors from The Last Jedi saying critical things about the film, with many saying that they are throwing Rian Johnson under the bus. And now that I've said both The Last Jedi and Rian Johnson to please the YouTube algorithm, let's get into the video.
It's like the news, but for nerds.
What's going on, YouTube? Yes, it's Justin, not Josh, here for the Den of Nerds to talk to you about some sweet, sweet Star Wars. We got a ton of work that we got to get done around here, so Josh has gone ahead and allowed me to do this video for you so he can get some other spicy stuff out for you later in the week. I promise, he's not gone forever. Let's go ahead and dive in to the news. So J.J. Abrams, Daisy Ridley, and John Boyega all had some comments come out recently about The Last Jedi and Abrams' return to finish off the saga that he started. We're going to go into these, we're going to talk about some of these hard facts, what was actually said, and then go into why everyone is losing their minds! So quoting Abrams, he said, "On the other hand, it's a bit of a meta approach to the story. I don't think people go to Star Wars to be told this doesn't matter." Abrams then went on to say that The Last Jedi laid the groundwork for the Rise of Skywalker, a story he thinks needed a pendulum to swing in one direction in order to swing in the other. And we'll just get into Ridley and Boyega's reactions to Abrams returning while we're here as well, because why not? Ridley said she cried, breathing a sigh of relief over the sense of security that Abrams has brought to this final film. And Boyega also said that he was happy to see Abrams returning to finish the saga that he started. John Boyega said, even as a person in the audience, he wanted to see where that story was going, referring to the story Abrams started. So there's a lot of crazy things in these little comments that popped out, and of course the internet is absolutely exploding over things that happen in little individual bits of it. One of the comments I want to talk about, because a lot of people are talking about it, is something Dana Schwartz said, Dana Schwartz being the writer for She-Hulk. And we did learn about this through World of Geekdom from Geekdom 101, so shout out to Geekdom 101. People are absolutely latching on to Dana's tweet over these comments, as she said, and I quote, "This is fucking bullshit. Throwing Rian Johnson under the bus to please some crazy fanboys when he made the most interesting and ambitious Star Wars movie since Empire." Obviously, this statement and these issues have left a lot of people on both sides of the aisle super hot and bothered. You've got, of course, your Last Jedi supporters who are crawling out of the woodwork saying, yes, everything that she is saying is accurate. The Last Jedi is one of the most ambitious films since Empire. It's great. This absolutely proves it. And of course, you've got people on the other side of the aisle, fandom menace people, people who did not like The Last Jedi, who are coming out saying, no, look at everything the actors are saying. Not only was The Last Jedi clearly a terrible film from everything they're saying criticizing it, but it was even a terrible film to work on. Rian was not a great person to work with, and all of these things that are being said just confirms all of that. Gang, we are still talking about this incredibly divisive film. This film, which has a sequel coming out in just about a week. We wouldn't be talking about this if the film was just good or just bad. No, we have to live in the timeline where The Last Jedi is divisive, where The Last Jedi honestly is going to be a film that I think is going to be talked about long after this entire trilogy has ended. Maybe even long after The Mandalorian has ended, long after another Star Wars trilogy completely unrelated to the Skywalker saga has ended. That's just the powerful effect that this film has on people.
You underestimate my power.
But you know, everyone, there is something to be said about the direction that Dana's comment took that I really don't agree with, and that's when she calls the people who didn't like The Last Jedi crazy fanboys. Because see, when you throw people in these groups, when you call them crazy, when you say they're not true fans because of their opinion on something within their fandom, that's not good. That is what ends up preventing all of this constructive criticism, all of these great discussions we can have about these films and all of these pieces of media. All that rhetoric, all that conversation really does is completely and utterly hinder that. Just because somebody really likes a film and doesn't like another film doesn't make them crazy, and it doesn't make them not a true fan. I'm a Star Wars fan myself, but I don't really like Solo. I don't really like Attack of the Clones. Those films are incredibly hard for me to get through. I really don't think they hold up as well to many of the other films in the saga. I don't think that makes me not a true fan. I don't think that makes me crazy. And I honestly think the same can be said for people who didn't like The Last Jedi, people who didn't like The Phantom Menace, and on and on and on, regardless of what piece of Star Wars media it is. All those people are still fans, and their opinion, their constructive criticism, that's still a good conversation we can have about our media, as long as it's respectful, as long as you're not a jerk about it. Now, there are some people out there, of course, wondering why, as in why are these comments coming out now? Why are they being published now? Especially when Mark Hamill's comments about The Last Jedi came out so long ago, it kind of seems like they're ancient history. Well, again, this new film, Rise of Skywalker, comes out in like a week. Ridley got paid. Boyega got paid. Abrams got paid. In their comments about The Last Jedi, in any comments they'll have about the Rise of Skywalker going forward, they really don't have anything to lose. Like, their time with this portion of the saga is done. It's concluded. Their work has finished. But there is definitely a pressure that these actors are feeling in spite of that, though. I mean, you know how Disney is.
I'm the mascot of an evil corporation.
Everyone has different fond memories of Disney. I get it. Like, I love The Emperor's New Groove. Fantastic film. But Disney doesn't want opinions getting out there that can hurt their profit margin. With the box office gross for The Last Jedi secured, with Blu-ray sales winding down, now's the time where people would be able to talk about it. Disney wouldn't want any of those opinions coming out very close to the release of the film, because that can hurt their profit. I mean, we're at a time now where these actors have more leverage where they're able to talk about this film, talk about their experiences on this film, how they feel about this film. And who knows, opinions can change. That's kind of what you're supposed to do as an adult. When new information is presented to you that is factual, or you develop new feelings, you alter your worldview, you change your worldview. Sometimes it can even do a complete 180 based on the information you've received. Who knows, maybe these actors had opinions that they've been keeping to themselves out of fear of Disney. Maybe they legitimately changed their opinions because the film didn't hold up to repeat viewings. Who knows? I don't really know what's going on in their heads. This is all speculation. But let's dig deeper and truly start dissecting these comments. And I'm going to be upfront with you, Josh and I completely agree about this, so no worries there. I don't really think these comments are actual bad-mouthing of the film, and definitely not to the degree that some detractors would make you feel about it. See, here's the thing, and I know some people struggle with this, but it's totally possible to like something while being super critical of it. And it's really bad when you go to the extreme in either direction. It's really bad to actually like something while completely choosing to ignore its flaws, because there's no room for constructive argument there. It is also completely bad to hate something to the degree where you completely ignore all of its positive qualities, because there's no room for constructive dialogue there either. It's not so good or bad. It's not so dark or light. The true answer when it comes to critiquing any piece of media usually ends up lying somewhere in the middle, somewhere in the gray. Hashtag gray order. Yes, I said hashtag. And we're, of course, going to shout out the great King Mike. Yes, Han owed money to the Guavian Death Gang and Conja Club. All right, let's go ahead and check that nerd card before we finally get out of here. And I want to know, Darth Vader did kill a lot of Jedi when he stormed the Jedi Temple, but there was one Jedi in particular, head of the Jedi Temple Guard and a lightsaber instructor nicknamed the Troll by the younglings. What was the name of that Jedi? Go ahead and answer that question down in the comments section below. Anyways, that's all the news I have for you, and pretty much our spicy take on it. These comments, while critical, aren't nearly as bad as some people online would like you to believe, and all of this exhaustive debate, all of these comments are just crazy to me. It's so absolutely crazy. And regardless of which side of the aisle you're on, gang, if you're getting into these arguments, if you're talking to these people online, and you find that it's just exhausting, especially this close to the Rise of Skywalker, and you don't have the energy to debate, you can always do what I do when I walk into one of those situations. Turn your computer off. Go relax. You don't need to go ahead and jump in all that. Regardless of which side of the aisle you're on, just go relax. Go watch The Mandalorian. Go play Jedi Fallen Order, Star Wars fans. Something that the majority honestly agrees is legitimately amazing new pieces of Star Wars media. I hope you're all having an awesome and nerdy day. I hope you let us know your thoughts about this news down in the comments. And for me, your thoughts on Jedi Fallen Order, because I'm kind of the video game guy. And I will actually see you all in another Den of Nerds video.